Hey drummers, it's Rob Litton here from drumsaword.com and welcome to this full video song lesson. Today I'm going to show you how to play the song Caroline by Status Quo, drummed by their original drummer John Coghlan, not sure how you pronounce that. But this song was suggested over on my Facebook page, so if you want to make your own song suggestions, then please go over there to do so. The tempo is 153 BPM, so it's a fast song this. And when I was transcribing it, I was thinking, should this be a beginner lesson or an intermediate lesson? It's a beginner lesson because there's nothing really complicated going on here in this song at all. It's wonderful. The drum beat is nice and simple. The drum fills are nice and simple. What makes this an intermediate lesson is the tempo. It's just fast. And that's really all there is. So as I go through this, I'm going to be showing you ways you can simplify the beats and fills so that the new drummer, the beginner drummer could have a go at this as well, because it's such a great song and it's accessible to, it should be accessible to every level of drummer. So like I said, we'll be going over and simplifying parts when they occur. So we start off with this section, riff 1 I've called it, riff 1. And I've written here, note, John improvises with the looseness of the hi-hat through closed hi-hat sections. So we'll get onto that as it occurs, but basically what that means is briefly is that most of the time when he's playing the closed hi-hat, he sort of opens it a little bit towards the end and then closes it and sort of plays around with it so we get this loose, tight thing. But what I've done on the chart for you is I've written out exactly where it occurs, where it is obviously it's obviously loose, but when you're playing onto this song, be aware of that John is improvising with the tightness of his hi-hat, and so you can do the same as well. So this song is a classic 12-bar blues. The riffs and choruses in 12 bars. So what that means literally is there are 12 bars, counted bars, for the riff to then repeat, a cycle. The verses, we go back to standard 8 bars, but the riffs and the choruses have this 12-bar pattern. So the first line, you can see we've got an example of this. We've got 12 bars on that first line, and we come in with our first drum fill on the 12th bar. And the rhythm comes just after beat 1. 1 and 2. So the tempo's going by quite fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We just play the rhythm for you. We get 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. So slowly, 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. And I think that's a flam on beat 3 he plays there. It's very, very flat if it is. But it sounds slightly different than the single stroke. So I think there's a flam there on beat 3. But if you just want to play it as a single stroke, absolutely fine. You can play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Use any sticking you like. It's not so fast that you can't play it one-handed though. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. I almost played a flam at the beginning. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1. Play the 4 and with your left hand, so then your right hand is free to go to the crash symbol on the next line. So then we go into our first groove. And the basic groove is we're playing 4 on the floor, the bass drum's pumping 1, 2, 3, 4, snare drum on beats 2 and 4, and the hi-hat is simply playing 8th notes over the top. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And I've written at the top there in brackets after riff 1, closed hi-hat, so we know the hi-hat is closed for this section. Starts with the crash cymbal on beat 1 after that drum fill. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If we play up to speed, you can see the right hand is having to do a little bit of work here. So for any new drummers out there, playing that sort of tempo for 4 minutes, it's just not going to happen for you. Your arm's going to fall off after about a minute, 2 minutes. Mine starts to get a little bit tired even. So what you can do is you can simplify that drum beat and just play quarter notes on the hi-hat instead. So you're playing the hi-hat on 1, 2, 3, 4 and leaving out the ands in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So this is your simplified version of the drum beat. I'm not playing the ands in between on the hi-hat. If I put it back in, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then the simplified version, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So when you play it up to speed,